Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Story. Let's bring the UI back while we're at it. In this episode, we are going to put our inventory away, and I was exploring in a single player world, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to drop this back to 512 for the sake of our frame rate here. There we go. So we're going to clean up our inventory a little bit, and then go straight into copper. What I would like to do is I'd like to collect the copper from here, the copper from here, and then I'm going to take the boat and I'm going to trek back out towards our old house, collect this copper, and also see if our farm is ready for harvesting. So why don't we... I should have... There we go. I was going to say I should have a chest area for that. I guess not for the huge ones. And I'm feeling a little on the lazy side right now, so I may... Got all that bushmeat. Yeah. Oh wow, you see that? The bushmeat is less fresh if I hold it in the chest and not my inventory. Let's see about putting it there. Yeah, less fresh, interesting. And this Terra Preta we're gonna put away for now. I'll put all this away, that should be fine. Now, do I have a crock of food? Yes, it would be in the basement if I do. But let's get these spears put away while we're at it. And I'll put you here, and you here, here, and here. Okay, perfect. So let's just grab a crock of food, and of course I'm going to need the boat. Perfect. That's that. And grab my crocs right here. We'll grab, nope, not you. Grab you, you just have one serving, that's fine. I don't need a ton of food. I do want to bring the bed just in case I end up having to spend the night over on the other side. I don't think there's a huge chance, but there is a chance that I may end up having to do that. Oh, and let's see what else. I would like to... Oh, I want dirt with me. There we go. I'll grab some low fertility soil, just so I can mark off these areas as I get rid of the actual copper nuggets. So I am going to do some good old fashioned... Actually, I don't need you marked. And what else do I have marked? I think that's it. I'm going to do some good old fashioned cutting here. I'm going to grab this copper, grab that copper, and then I will meet you back at the house. Well, I'll grab this copper and meet you back at the house to check on the crops. So, I will see you all in a few seconds. Okay, guys, I'm gonna bring you back here. I'm not where I said I was, but as we look in the distance, I believe I'm looking at some more Terra Preta. So we are absolutely gonna beeline it over here, and my eyes have not deceived me. That is in fact Terra Preta. You'll also notice that we've gotten terribly... Okay, we're gonna run. Okay, that was a wolf. I want to get eyes on it. There it is there. Okay. So we should... Oh, there it is there. I see. There's two of them. This is going to be dangerous, but I should be clear to grab this Terra Preta. Let's try it. Being very careful, of course. Very lucky with all this Terra Preta out of absolutely nowhere. We're going to be able to create some great farms once we get into the copper age. And I was, before I got distracted, I was going to say that we've gotten incredibly lucky or unlucky with our copper. I've only managed to grab 3 nuggets from the first 2 deposits. They only had 1 copper bit each. Wow, and to think I boated across that whole area, I would argue it's much faster to have made this run. That's unfortunate. So yeah, we've gotten unlucky so far. Interesting. The stone that is down there. It's a slate, I believe. Anyways, I am going to grab the other copper deposits, and I will see you guys back on the other side. Okay, so as we approach what I at one point wanted to be a cellar, we will come right back. And as you can see, we did not get enough copper for what I was looking to do. I'm looking for 40 pieces of copper. I only got 17, which means I am going to be doing some panning in the near future. But while we're out here, I wanted to collect all the tools and things I left behind if I have enough room, including these molds that are on the agenda for firing. And I want to check these crops. You can see the turnips are almost done. They could have used another day or two, and this spelt and rye still has a while to go. So what I'm going to do, oh, you just grew up, so you're actually all set. So I'm going to run this back home, and then we're probably going to work on firing this and doing things related to that. But in the near future here, we're going to have to come back for all these turnips. So I think the turnips will be a great addition to a red meat stew. We can get our keep our vegetable satiation topped off, keep our hit points topped off, and also we can make our red meat last longer, which I think is going to be pretty important. Anyways, I am going to run now that I know that it is marginally faster, as opposed to boat this across the lake. So I will see you guys back at the house. Okay, and here we are back at the house. So why don't we, actually let's run down into the basement. And it's not ideal, but I think for now, I can set up some pit kilns down here. Not ideal, not permanent, but it at least gives us a starting point. And we can get some of the stuff firing until we have a more permanent pit kiln area established. So the molds that I really care about are the pickaxe and probably the hammer, and I would say the prospecting pick comes next. So this one here. We'll put this axe one in, and let's see how much grass we have. I don't know if I can get these firing right off the bat. If I were my grass, I would be here, so I can get 3 of them. And this was my sticks. I've got 7 sticks. That's not enough. I need 8, 16, 24, 32, 40 sticks. And, let me go put this Terra Preta away. Absolutely want to do that. So I think I need 40 sticks, and then I'm going to need a lot of, we'll probably go with peat. Actually, we have enough firewood. So let's grab the scythe and just get a little more in terms of grass. There we go, perfect. So that's going to bring us a little above where we need to be, that's fine. We're going to need a lot of sticks, and so I think I will see you guys on the other side of our stick collecting. Okay, that honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And let me, I guess, plant a sapling. That way I can grab firewood, and I need 4, 8, 16, I need 20 pieces of firewood. Perfect, so let's get all this stuff firing. And just as I was doing all that, I was thinking to myself, am I missing anything? And I realized I am missing a crucible. Now, you may recall in an earlier episode, I talked about firing crucibles early on, and how I don't do that, and I'm always left scrambling for a crucible when it's time to make copper, because I never actually do it. And here we are. We're going to need a crucible, so I'm going to want to make one of those tonight. But before it does become nighttime, I do want to try to get our hands on the rest of this copper that we're looking for. And so in order to do that, we are going to go panning, and we're going to need some sand. So panning, if you're unfamiliar, is a game mechanic where you take sand and you have a sifter, or a pan in this case, and you just slowly move it through the water in hopes that something interesting falls out. And honestly, it's a great way to collect some resources such as quartz. In our case, copper. You do get some tools and other various pieces of equipment as well that come from it. But it is a very, very slow and tedious process that is definitely the detriment to panning. It is, however, I think what I am going to resort to. Let me just put some of this away here. Oh, I meant to put the boat away. There we go. I'll just put it away in here for now. That's fine. So let's grab our shovel, and there's some sand over here that I want to get back to. I saw it, well, I've seen it several times, but I just happened to notice it right here, you see, when we were running back. So I'm going to grab, oh, I don't know, I don't want to do a ton of panning. I'm thinking maybe half a stack of sand should be plenty. Maybe I could start with 16, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, you know, so I think I'm going to gun for half a stack, or maybe just till when my shovel dies. Yeah, let's do that. When the shovel dies out is what I'll call it. Well, it brought me to 29, so I may as well do the half a stack. 1, 2, 3. So the panning is definitely one of those things that I want to cut through and maybe not necessarily time-lapse through. I do want to show off the process at least once, so I think we can pan together. We'll just demonstrate how that works, and then we can take it from there. And in order to get the pan, I'm going to need a single log, and you put your knife next to it, and that gives you a wooden pan. And let's get the copper here so that we're paying attention to it. And I've got a little pool of water right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my torch here, put my sand here, and then my pan. And what I'm doing is I just press right click, and then I right click again, and that starts the panning process. And you'll see, as we do this more and more, we got a sandstone stone. And so on and so forth. So one thing with panning that I didn't learn until really early on is you don't have to hold down the right click button while you're panning. You actually just have to press the button. And once you press the button once, you start the panning process. So we have, ooh, yep, see, I got some clear quartz. See, this is a great way to get quartz for making lanterns early on. And if you pan bony soil, you're able to actually get candles or some of the other things that may help you make early game lanterns. So I am going to do this panning. Actually, you know what? Before we run off and fully commit to this panning, actually no, we can commit to the panning. I was going to say I'm going to go make a crucible, but that stuff's firing, so I couldn't even fire the crucible anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to do this panning, and I will see you on the other side. All right, as we firmly enter daytime here, let's take a look at what we got. We got a rusty gear, which I placed on the ground for the sake of inventory space. We got some metal scraps, which I threw in the bush because they're basically useless. But it can be placed on the ground, so we'll do that as well for the sake of inventory space. Grab our torch back. We got 3 quartz, 6 quartz chunks. This is clear quartz. We got some zinc, so we got 5 zinc nuggets, a flint spearhead, 6 blue clay, 27 sandstones, some rough lapis, 2 chunks of gold, 13 flint. We did get a copper spearhead, so I turned it into a copper spear to save inventory space. And we're at 17, now we're at 33, so that gives us 16 copper nuggets. Still not where we'd like to be, but I think there's stuff that I would like to do during the daytime, and we can look at doing some more panning, perhaps, for the next night. But I do need to dump some of the stuff into a chest. Let's see here. None of these chests. Just throw you in there for now. That's the wrong clay. Wow, we really have an inventory problem, don't we? Put you guys in here. The wood can go into here. I'm gonna cook the bushmeat because where we're so low on storage space, I don't necessarily want to add to the rot. Well, I could have added to the rot, but put this quartz here. Let's cook this bushmeat. I'll grab 6 pieces of wood is, I'm sure, plenty. And I'm going to load it all up there just so I don't have to think about it. And let's see what we can just place. So, if we go back behind the house, I'm going to place the copper spear here. So you can go here, along with the scythe. And we'll put a hoe here, an axe, the knife, and I have another axe. So we'll get that all stored up in there. And I think it's probably worth us forming a few storage vessels, isn't it? Because man, are we in need of more storage. Do we have any... It might be worth taking that knife, and do we have any easily accessible cattails? There's some over there, but it's not really a ton. Alright, well, I'm not worried about that for now. We'll do some clay forming after we do the sanding, and we'll just be short on inventory for a while. That is fine with me. One thing I do want to do is I have another project in mind, and I don't know about you guys, but I am sick and tired of drifters coming right up to the door and doing this to us all night. I think it would be nice if we had a bit of a perimeter around our base. So I would like to work on building a perimeter, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to give ourselves a space of 1, 2... I'm gonna have to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it the 6 block I'm looking for? Because I want to go 5 out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, perfect. So we're gonna go 6 blocks out. 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2. Nope. 1. I don't know why I'm confusing myself so bad with this. You're 1. You're 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That makes that easy, huh? The grass and the different hitboxes just really throw me off. I wasn't going to do this 5, so I'm looking to give an interior space of 5 blocks, because I like to run a path through the middle, have room for things up against the house, and then also I'd like to have stuff along this inside wall here. So let me make sure that will give me the room I'm looking for. Yep, looks like it. So we'll do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And on the side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what I'd like to do is just get an idea on how much material I'm going to need. I'm looking at building this wall out of fences and some dark mud brick. So let's look here. I'm going to have a gate on each side that is 2 blocks wide. And so the gate is going to be, this is not going to be a square perimeter, just the nature of the shape of the house. So each of these sides will be different by 2 to 4 blocks. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 blocks this side. So this is what, 20, 24? So 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so 18 by 20. I've got 2 18s and I got 2 20s, so that brings me at 36 plus 40, so that's 76. So we'll call it a stack and a quarter of the dark mud brick, and I may need just a little more, and I'm probably going to want to do a dozen or so dark mud brick slabs. So I can hear that our kilns are still burning. So what actually, you know what? If we're gonna, before I go do all this dark mud brick, why don't I form a couple storage vessels real quick? So that when we run our next set of kilns, I can add some storage vessels. So I'm gonna form these, and then I'm gonna go get the materials needed to fire our storage vessels. I'm looking at doing probably just 2 for now, and then I will get these firing, collect that dark mud brick, and so on and so forth. So that's quite a list of things to do, but I'm going to throw together a little montage for you guys. So I'll see you on the bottom end of those chores. Okay, so we got quite a bit done there, and I do believe that our kilns are ready to go. But before we run away and do that, why don't we make some dark mud brick here? So as you recall, this is the recipe for dark mud brick, and that is going to give us not quite what we need, but it'll bring us pretty darn close. And that, I suppose, is what matters. Grab this grass, and we should have everything on us for our kiln action. So why don't we head down here? And inventory space is going to be tight, but what we can do is consolidate this. And I don't want to consolidate all of it, but these 4 should be plenty for consolidating. And what we can do is we can place these molds over here. And now we can grab our new clay items and we'll get them in. I did also make a crucible. I forgot to make a crucible earlier, so I did catch that in time. That would have been awkward. So I'll get these all filled up and ready to go. And you go here. You go here. Now I'm gonna want some sticks. Perfect. And we are low on sticks again because for the perimeter that we're working on building, I want to put fences up as well. And I just don't believe that I am going to be able to make fences with the 4 sticks we have. At least not enough fences, but we can try, I suppose. One thing I am conflicted on is I'm conflicted about whether I'm going to add oil lamps to our perimeter because I do want to conserve our fat, but I do believe that we would benefit from having the area lit up a bit more. So I probably won't run into actually filling it up with oil lamps. Hey, excuse me. Some of us are doing work over here. Okay. We'll let that get burning here. And why don't we start with this dark mud brick? And so I'm going to do a stack of 2 on the corner and then just go out like this. But I want it to stop here. There we go. And you're going to go up. 1, 2. You're going to go up. You're going to go like this. Perfect. And so that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly what I wanted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one side done, and then I want to fill this in here with fences, and we're going to use some slabs on the tops here, and I think that will be looking pretty darn good. Give us like a little, we'll have like a little estate in here, which will be pretty sweet. So let's work on this next one. Let me figure out where I want the gate to be. I think it's going to end up being here and here. So we'll get that all sectioned off. And I figured we could have our house at the center, and I have an awesome idea for how I want the farms to go. I'm wicked excited to do that in a couple episodes. It's going to take us a couple episodes because we're going to want to advance into the Copper Age first, so that we're able to actually custom do the farms and not be beholden to the terrain and landscape around us. We're going to want access to a bucket, which means we're going to need an anvil, so I've got to be a little ways away before I get the farms up for this area. Probably not the smartest move, but it's the move we're going to make. And you go here, and you can see we absolutely do not have enough mud brick, but that's okay, because we can go get some more clay. And let's just mark off this area here. Okay, you go there. You go there. And that goes there. Okay, perfect. So that is all we have. It is starting to get a little dark out. And when it fully gets dark out, we're going to do some more panning. And I'd like to try to get all the copper we need to move into the next part of the Copper Age by the end of the episode today. That ultimately is the goal. So why don't I grab the pan, and I still have some sand in my inventory, but I do want to just run out and grab some more. Don't want this cow parsley either. And I can convert this into some more hay bales at least. And I can fit the low fertility soil and this in here. Why don't we make a shovel real quick? And now that we have a shovel, let's just get you back in there. Get you here. And I want to pick up just a smidge more of the clay. Not the clay, I'm sorry. the sand. That way we know for sure that we have enough. We would need about 1 copper piece for a piece of sand right now. But if I'm going to be entirely honest with you, we have not been getting that much luck as we've been doing this. And so I think I want to go back up to 16. Our yields in the copper have been less than 1 copper nugget per piece of sand, which is what ideally your average would be. But we have not been that lucky. Usually it ends up being a little less than that, but I was expecting to be doing a little more or a little better where we got 30 pieces of sand. Okay, so we'll go put you here. I've got this all set up. And I will see you once we have hit 40 nuggets. There it is. We have hit 40 copper nuggets after a lot, and I mean a lot, of panning. Panning is probably one of my least favorite things to do in this game, at least for extended periods of time, but it's usually how I end up getting all of my copper. We did get a few other good things from this session of panning. We got 2 more rust gears, which is great. We got some more gold, another copper spearhead, and of course more quartz. But I'll just grab you. You're going to end up going in my offhand. Uh-oh. And I let the torch in the house burn out. Well, that's not good. Let's get you placed over here then. And as we are inside our home, today we got a lot done. And I mean a lot. We started putting up this perimeter that you can see around our house. We got everything we need for entering the Copper Age, and we're going to continue working towards that next episode. We did quite a bit of chores and housework, and I think as we look into next episode, we're going to work on our first hammer and our first pickaxe. We are going to do some ingot molds, and probably work towards our getting some more copper tools, and perhaps even looking at an anvil. I'd also like to finish this perimeter off, and as we lay our groundwork in the Copper Age, our goal is to build a bucket so that we can get some Terra Preta farms going. That is probably going to take us a couple episodes, but we'll begin next episode. This has been Fico11. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I very much have enjoyed doing this series with you. Please leave a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.